What a brilliant start by Rick. Oh, Mr. Schumacher, an awful start. And Aston gets into the lead, and Rick casting off that quick.
So much traffic up in front, but here comes Epic now pushing Tiger. Tiger goes defensive to the inside. Tiger on the inside. Epic will try to go round the outside. One corner to go. On the last lap, this is going to be insane. So here comes Dutchy as well. Tiger is going to look like it's going to win, but it's a drag race for second. And somehow,
He's got the DRS.
And here he goes then down this mini back straight. And now he's on the brake.
Pemberley now he's going to be looking for DRS here. There's 4 drivers going at it. Dirty Larry goes around the outside. Oh, let's have a look here. Oh, it's Pemberley's going around the outside. Oh, the inside. It's been done from the inside line. Brilliantly done from the Mercedes driver. Wow.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another track guide video here in Gavra Racing. And as you can see, I'm back in the glorious F1, and I realise this is late. Everyone's going to be screaming at me, "Oh, Tiger, you're once again, it's all late and everything." Shush. I've been practicing, okay? You know, I've been doing other things as well. I mean, I'm kind of trying to run the F1 league in the process of doing all of this, so you know, give me time, but I am here now, okay, ready to go around the glorious Zandvoort. So yeah, let me hop into the track guide here in Zandvoort in F1 2020. Okay, so we are about to start our lap here in Zandvoort. So yeah, definitely a good thing to do here is carry as much speed as you can through this corner, and then for the start of the lap anyway, you want to bring your car over to this right hand side, obviously activating DRS down the main straight, and obviously that corner, the big banked corner, the big banky boys, mean 2 center calling it, is always a good one. So you want to be braking. Now you can actually go slightly a bit later than the 100-meter board, but it's probably where you want to be going, around about the 100-meter board. Probably is a little bit later, and then you want to be staying in third, turning the car in here, obviously just normal apex, stay off that curb on the right hand side. Touch that curb on the right hand side, you go spinning, okay? So you want to be careful when you're going wheel to wheel with someone through here, because it can cause the driver on the inside to spin. So through this corner, and then just, I'm going to reiterate this now, a lot of the curbs on this track are death. Okay, they will just kill the car completely. Okay, so yeah, let's go on to the exit of this corner. So you can come out a little bit wide here. Use a bit of that curb there if you need to. Now through the next corner, it's got to be one of the trickiest parts of this track. After turn 1, and that's turns 2, 3, and 4. So turn 2 is just a little kink to the left here. But this is where turn 3 comes into it. So you'll be up into 6th here. You want to shift down to 5th. Turn the car in. Now you want to be careful here. You can use this curb, but you can see it's quite a large curb. So sometimes, especially on high tyre wear, it will kick you out of the corner. What you want to do is use this curb here. You will probably most likely understeer out wide into 5th. And then immediately start braking down into 2nd. Now, you are going to be quite prone to locking up here because you're trying to shift the car over to the right and then immediately back over to the left. So you want to be bringing the car over, and then obviously this bank corner helps as well. Just getting the exit, and then coming out of here, you want to be really, really careful on the exit. Don't just slam the power down. You want to ease it, and a lot of short shifting on the exit. Use a bit of the curb on the outside. Try not to. What I find is I understeer out wide onto that curb, and then I try to overcorrect myself, and as I overcorrect myself, I lose the rear and I go into the wall on the right hand side. So that's what you don't want to do. This bit pretty self-explanatory up here, pretty much staying over to the left hand side here, over to the left hand side here, and then once again over to the right hand side here, up to this next corner. You'll be up in 7th, you'll be up in around about 7th gear here. If you're in the race, drop to 6th. If you're on a quali lap, stay in 7th. Now, if you're going to stay in 7th, bring the car around. Okay, now pull it as you take a wider line in, and as you're coming back around the corner, pull it over towards this curb here. Okay, and that sets you up for a nice line down into this corner. Now you can shift, you can stay in 7th here, avoid that curb on the left hand side, and then once you get to about this point here, shift down to 6th and turn the car in. And once you turn the car in, you want to use a bit of this curb here. Don't try not to hit that huge curb on the inside, but you can use a little bit of curb here all the way down into this next braking zone where you're going to be braking around about 50 meter board. You can use a bit of this curb on the left hand side, but it's not advisable. You can see the curb is quite huge and bumpy, so use a little bit of this curb on the left hand side and then turn the car in into 3rd gear, and then you can get on the power nice and early here. Just as you've just hit the apex of the corner, get on the power, and the car will move over to here, and then you want to drag the car back over to the right hand side, braking around about at this point here. You don't need too much braking because obviously you haven't carried as much speed out of that corner. As you shift down into stay in 3rd here, pull out nice and wide and pull the car back. This curb here on the left hand side is another corner which even if you touch the curb with one wheel, the car will spin out. I cannot stress that enough to you. The curbs on this track are quite horrendous, apart from a couple which you are able to use to help you. But yes, you want to be taking a nice sort of later entry into this corner to get a nice run down here onto the 2nd DRS zone on this track. And then down into next few corners here, braking just after the 100 meter board here, round about where the start of this curb is. You could probably go maybe a little bit earlier, but you're around this area anyway. As you're going down into what is turn 11, which is this right-hander. You want to stay in 3rd, pull the car across. Remember, it's the same as the corner before where you took in 6th. Do not hit the big curb on the inside, but you can touch this bit smaller curb here, and then bring the car over down into 2nd, and you want to stay once again off this curb on the inside, otherwise the car will spin. Okay, stay off this curb on the inside. Now bring the car round here. You can use quite a bit of this curb on the outside out here, and then pull the car out nicely, line it up for the next corner, which you want to just ignore the 100 meter board. You can pretty much go with the 50 meter board. At this point you'll be up in 6th. You want to drop down to 5th. If you're in the race, drop down to 4th. Come around this corner, stay off this inside curb again, because you will just spin out completely. Like, I can't stress enough, the curbs on this track are just dreadful. Okay, now out through this final corner, you can use a bit of this curb. It's not recommended you use all of it, because if you use all of it, you'll dip a wheel into the gravel and then you'll just spin the car like that. So use a bit of this curb here, and then once again out of this final corner, around the big banky boy, keep it over to this right hand side up to the line. But yeah, there is a lap around the wonderful Zandvoort, and I'm going to take you on a flying lap. And there we go, there's a track guide here around Zandvoort. As I said, I'm not an expert in this game. Definitely GT Sport is where I'm a bit more of an expert, and I'm a lot faster in. But yeah, I hope that gives everyone a basic idea of this wonderful track here in the Netherlands. And yeah, make sure you tune in for the GT Sport track guide a little bit later on in the week. And once again, I apologise for this one being a little bit late. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next race and in the next track guide.